So what we're going to do is we're going to see how do we populate and create these pivot tables. And so we're trying to get to this point where we have the seed difference in 2008, and we're looking at our current round, right? So this is our round of 64, round of 32, 16, 8, 4, and then our final. And then we're looking at the max seed difference that we have per year. You can see in this one, 2023, where we have a seed difference of 15, that means that a 16 seed beat a number one seed. So that's a pretty big upset. But you can see here the max, and a lot of them are like a 9. So that could be a difference of 9 seeds. We don't necessarily know what the seeds were, but we know that the difference was there. So how do we get to this? Yours is going to look like this to start, where it's blank. There's nothing in there. And so what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to populate it with the correct value. So the first thing to do is to see the little green pencil tool. You're going to click Edit. And what that's going to do is it's going to bring up the different rows and columns that you can. These are all of the headers that we have, and we'll see what that data is here. So these values here are what show up in our pivot table. So in our pivot table, we see that we need the year to be a row. So I'm going to drag year over to row, and that's getting me closer to the years there. What I want to see next is the value of the seed difference. So I'm going to put that in value. And there's a couple of options. So I have the sum. I would like the max. We're looking at the max. Now that doesn't quite get me here where I have the round. So what we want to do for this one is we want the column to be the current round. So the column is the current round. And there we go. We've made it. We've created it. And so you can start to add different pieces to your pivot tables if you want. You can filter. So we could add a filter to something. So let's say that we're trying to filter by year, and we're showing all of them. Let's say that we don't want the blanks. That's fine. Let's say that we're not really interested in the final four. All right. It will take those out. And you can see that that dropped the final four piece out of here. So a pivot table is really flexible. It allows you to do different analysis really quickly. So let me say I get rid of that filter, and it pops back with the blanks and the round. I could adjust this to see like the seed won, seed lost. So if I'm looking at maybe I don't want seed difference, maybe I would want to pull in the seed won. And instead of sum, that doesn't make sense to sum them. Maybe I want the average, right? So what's the average for the seeds that win? Like what's the average seed difference? And I can see this one on the upsets, a difference of 12. So there's a pretty big difference there between those. Anyway, a pivot table is something that's really flexible. It's easy to adjust. You can start to add multiple things. So let's say I wanted, I'm just going to put this in here, the seed won. Oh, I already have that. Sorry. Let's say I have the seed lost. I have different values. It's going to, not going to let me do that. There we go. Now I have them both. It becomes a little complicated. You can see they're both in there. It's giving me those two columns. I don't really want to do that. You could do the same thing with your seed difference in like your columns. And it's going to expand it out. Again, not super helpful in this context, but the fact that you can embed these is helpful. The last piece is if you click on a value, so if I click on a value, it actually gives me the data there. So that made a whole new tab here. You see that detail of where those were. So current round, the 6 versus a 3, the 11 versus a 3, a difference of 8. So it actually gives me what those pieces are. So again, you'll use pivot tables for your analysis. They are relatively easy to set up once you kind of play around with it and go from there.